Hey, Randy.
Yes, sir.
I'm working on something to help you out, buddy. I know that you love to hear that people said they saw you on TV, and I kind of figured, you know what? I'm gonna put a TV up there. I'm gonna put you on that TV so you can see yourself.
It'll be like a mime. Awesome, man.
All right, man.
Yeah. So you're blowing the budget already. I mean, is that in this year, or are you pulling money from next year to pay for it now? I don't know. So I have to check with the boss.
I'm leasing it, so it's pretty cheap.
Okay. Hey, Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries, Northwest North Carolina, director for our professional center. Yeah, we have a professional center at Goodwill, the first of its kind for any Goodwill in the country. And we've been at it now about 10 years. So if you know somebody that might be in a job search, have them find me. I'm on LinkedIn, happy to help, work by appointment. And again, you can be anywhere in the country, but most of our clients are right here in the Triad, along with my friend Teddy Burriss. We get together a couple times a week, cut up a little bit, have some fun. And on Wednesday, we do the big show. But today, we're going to share some tips and stories. But first, Teddy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah. So our business is Burriss Consulting. We're LinkedIn social media strategists. We're also Google Workspace trainers, teaching people how to use LinkedIn as a business tool, teaching people how to use Google Workspace. Also got another little pivot going on in the business that I'm experimenting with. I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But a couple times a week, Randy and I get together, chit chat, play a few games, laugh, joke. Oh, and then we tell you some stories and some tips and
have a little fun
and get ready for the big show. So Randy's one of his jobs is to do research. So what research did you uncover, buddy?
Well, it's Columbus Day, so banks are closed, federal holiday. By the way, the feds recognized it in 1937 is when Columbus Day became an official holiday, and it was to commemorate Columbus 1492 made the journey. So there's that. Now, births, deaths, and events. Teddy, put your thinking cap on because I got a couple little trivia, fun little things for you here. I remember this as a kid. I don't know why, but I am a collector of weird facts that store here needlessly for the generations. All right. So on this birth, this guy was born in 1863. And Teddy, I know that you probably, if you're like a lot of guys, you leave your old socks and T-shirts on the floor, and your wife is just like, Teddy, why can't you pick those up? I mean, come on, that happens.
I try hard, Randy, but I can't juggle a beer, a cigar, and dirty socks.
Well, this guy could. This guy, and I remember this guy's name, Louis Cyr, C-Y-R. He was a strong man. This dude, one of his claims to fame is he was able to lift 500 pounds with one finger. So if he can do that, the least you can do is pick up a pair of dirty socks. That's why I look at it. So there was that couple of folks that you may be familiar with. Ben Vereen, born in this state, 1946, actor and dancer and performer. He was on Roots. I remember that as a kid too. Pippin, I think some other things that were out there as well. And David Lee Roth, Van Halen, born in this state, 1954. All right, deaths on this date. There's a Beatles song, McCartney. All I have to do is go, never mind. Died in a church and was buried along with her name. Nobody came, all the lonely people. Anyway, Eleanor Rigby, who rumor has it that this was an actual person that died in 1939, but that was the idea for the song. Yeah. And I can think, too, also the Beatles, Lennon did For the Benefit of Mr. Kite. Again, not a famous song, but it was based on a carnival poster that he bought in some store. And it had Mr. Kite and the Hendersons and all the hoops and all that stuff. So anyway, interesting how some songs come about. But that's how the Beatles song came about with Eleanor Rigby. Orson Welles passed away in the state, 1985. Citizen Kane. Remember, was it Red Room?
Oh, yeah. Red Room.
Remember Red Room and the sled, right, or whatever. And also, of course, War of the Worlds. Yul Brynner passed away, same day, 1985. King and I and the Ten Commandments. And I'm not big on impersonations, but I can do one of Yul Brynner. Are you ready?
You just going to drop down below the scenes and just see this?
So it is written, so it shall be. All right, so there's that. Christopher Reeve, Superman, passed away on this date in 2004, and some events. 1865, a guy named John Wesley Hyatt patented something. And I'll give you a hint. It was made of cellulose nitrate.
What was it, the paper cup?
That narrows it down. Actually, it was the billiard ball. Huh. Yeah, he patented a billiard ball. All right, here's another one for you. 1933, Dreft, D-R-E-F-T, went on sale. What is that? D-R-E-F-T. Yes, the very first synthetic laundry detergent Procter & Gamble put in. Very good, Teddy.
Look at that. Pulled it right out of somewhere out of nowhere.
Hey, also Spiro Agnew, vice president, resigned 1973. Interesting, Nixon resigned, and then Ford, ultimately took over, but also Agnew resigned. And so I think it was Nelson Rockefeller got appointed to be vice president, and Ford again ascended, up the ladder there. So interesting. You had a vice president and a president who were never elected, I guess is where I'm going with that. Interesting times. I remember those. Quick story for you. Lorretta Lynn, country music icon, passed away not long ago. And as you know, I used to work in radio and would MC concerts and whatnot. And one of the best times that I had in radio was a chance to MC a concert she did in Ohio back in 1990. And my dad, mom, and my, at the time, wife and her parents, I was able to get them backstage and to meet Lorretta. And she was their, well, at least my dad and my father-in-law's favorite performer.
Yeah. And
I'll never forget my dad just talk. And he was not a talker, but he was thrilled. And it's the little things like that don't really cost anything, but that create those memories. Because again, you get older, you don't need another shirt, you know what I mean? But to have him get a chance to meet his music idol was such a cool memory. And it's been years ago, but it still sticks with me. Yeah,
real cool. So I'm not a big country music fan, but I do like Loretta Lynn style music. It's good stuff. So hey, here's my story, man. Pivoting. Those who know me know I use that word, and I use that philosophy a lot. And for me, I'll tell you one of my pivots. I got the business about teaching LinkedIn. I'm building this business about teaching Google Workspace. And now what I'm doing is making another little pivot. I'm creating another little experiment in my business to go focus on college students who want to use LinkedIn. Because colleges are telling these students they got to be on LinkedIn. I mean, that's, they're all being told to be on there, but they're not being told how to do it well enough. And so I've been pushed and encouraged and motivated for years to go into colleges, but I've never really found the right channel for my business to be there. And so I'm going to do another little experiment. I'm pivoting a little bit. I'm going to keep the stuff going that's going, and I'm going to pivot a little bit. My point about sharing the story with you is not to share with you my glamorous successes that I think I had that are all in my head, but really just to say, pivoting is important in life. Pivoting is important in business. If we're so focused this way and we never stop and look this way or look that way a little bit, we may miss out on an opportunity. And so I'm like, heck, what's the worst that can happen? I spend 3 or 4 months pivoting a little bit and trying it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But if we don't try, you've said this before, buddy, this is why you started your business. If you don't try, you'll always look back and wonder, you know what, I should have done that. Pivot and try it out. So
you learn as you go, and you may find the market isn't not the right time. You're not talking to the right people. And maybe you hone it and come back and with a slightly different twist and it takes off. So, hey, we've got a great show coming up, Teddy, and somebody that certainly the folks here in the Triad are certainly aware of.
Yeah, I'm excited about Mayor Alan Joins, the mayor of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, going to join us. It is not going to be a political conversation. It's really going to have a lot less to do with even the city of Winston-Salem. The conversation is going to be really all about who is Mayor Alan Joins. Yeah, I'm going to ask him a little bit about what he's been doing and what he looks forward to in the city and for the future of Winston-Salem. But more than anything, we're just going to peel back a few layers and discover who Mayor Alan Joins is. So, join us 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. And and join in the conversation and discover a little bit more about what I refer to as our mayor of Winston-Salem. So it'd be a fun conversation, Randy.
Yeah, and he's recognized on a national level too, and you see in the paper from time to time where he's asked by the feds to give reports on the progress of different things, and there's a lot going on in our community and others around the country. But for them to pull Mayor Joines, from hundreds and hundreds of cities to give some feedback is kind of cool. So
here's a little tip about him. 2008, I can't remember the name of the magazine, recognized him for one of the healthiest mayors in the country.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
well, good deal. Yeah. So he'll join us on, let's see, it's going to be the 12th.
Yep.
Got a quick tip for you.
All right, man.
And I am, well, Teddy, you know me. I'm a list guy, right? So I'm making lists and checking it twice, and I'm going to find out who's naughty and nice. And
what do you do when your ink pen runs out, dude?
It ain't running out because I got backups. I got backups. I got Sharpies. I got them all. Anyway, I like to make lists, and I am so anal about stuff, Teddy. And I've told Susan and Ruth I used to work with at Goodwill. They've since retired, and Susan especially. She and I were. She's retired, so I don't know what her list looks like today, but we used to joke about create a list of to-do things. Mm-hmm. And if I thought of something extra that I just did, I'd write it down and then cross it off the list because it gave me a sense of accomplishment. Yeah. And so you get this to-do list that's ever growing and ever growing and ever growing, and then it becomes almost constricting and almost like weeds growing up around stuff. And so the tip today too, and I know you've kind of latched onto this with your word no for the year, is to look at something and say, is this really adding value? Is this something that is beneficial, not just for me, but for others or in my work or in my personal life? And if it isn't, maybe create a do not do list and look at things that you can maybe do without. Maybe one less trip to the fridge a day for me, lately these days might be one of the things I look at. But in all seriousness, it's maybe take a time to look down and reevaluate some of the things that you're doing in your day to day and say, is this really adding value? And take a critical look at it. Not simply, hey, it's because I've done it this way all the time. But like you said, maybe pivot. And you look at this and go, you know what? Maybe there's a different way to do this thing. Maybe I ought to be doing something slightly different. I don't know, but be aware of that as you look about going about your daily walk.
I'm with you, man. Yeah. So, I always do that very deliberately when someone calls me and says, Teddy, I got a deal for you. And it may sound like a great opportunity, but I'm going to really explore what that deal is, that activity, that event, that involvement. And I'm going to ask this question. Is this going to help me? If it's going to move me forward, is this going to move my people forward? If not, the answer is no. So yeah. All right, here's my tip, man. And it aligns with why I'm pivoting with this new adventure that I have with, going and helping college students with LinkedIn. And that I hear this all the time. People say on a regular basis, and college students say this more than anybody, I can't build a LinkedIn profile. I don't have anything to share. I don't have a job. I've never had a job. What do I put on there? And what I say first and foremost, and Ray, here's a new phrase I use. Your LinkedIn profile is not about your job. It's about you. It's not about the job. It's about you. Mm-hmm. And the problem that a lot of people face is they don't dig deep enough. They don't really look at themselves beyond just a job.
Right.
And they miss out on an opportunity to share, who am I? What have I done in school, volunteering? What have I learned? What new skills have I picked up? And they may not, those skills and all that story may not align with what you want to do in the future, but it is who you are today. We are way more than we think we are if we are just wrapping ourselves around our job. And you got to think beyond the job. You got to think about your life experiences, your family experiences, your community experiences, all that kind of stuff. This is where I'm going with this whole program. And I want people to think this way. You are way more than your freaking title. And if you ain't got a title, you're way more than what that title may be.
You bet.
You got to think that way. Yeah.
Teddy, good as always to talk with you. Look forward to catching up with you on Wednesday. Mayor joins us. That'll be a great show, man.
Yeah. Cool. All right, buddy. I'll see
Yeah.
you on Wednesday, 11:55.
That worked for me. Take care, bud. See you.